You make my world a better place.
Yes!
We'll get you walking again soon.
That's good.
You cheeky little thing.
Two intriguing animals, along with keeper Kylie from the Symbio Wildlife Park, have arrived at the Bondi Clinic.
So today we brought in Rex and Leo, which are two native Australian mammals. They're very important to us. Now the reason why we brought Rex and Leo in today is because one of them, Leo, has not been sexed. So we want to determine the sex because hopefully we can start to get into breeding next season.
Kylie.
Hi.
How are you?
Good.
Good to see you.
You too.
I'm a little anxious because I've got no idea what's in these boxes. And you have a place that's full of surprises, so...
We do.
Let's go through and let's work it out there. When I first see Kylie, she has this coy look on her face, almost bordering on smug. When she has that look on her face, it worries me. It means she knows whatever's in this box is going to surprise me. Which one's my patient?
The smaller one.
Small one. Intriguing. Wow.
Have you ever seen one like this before?
No. No, I have not. But look at you.
So this is Leo, and Leo is a very special echidna.
This is an albino echidna. Incredibly rare. You'd be lucky to see an albino echidna once in your lifetime. How did you end up having him in the first place?
Around 4 years ago, Leo was actually handed to us from members of the public. They found Leo in a car park in Berry as a little puggle, but Leo wasn't able to look after himself, so we took Leo in and finished off raising him, or her, and yeah, we've had Leo ever since.
So you need to know if Leo is Leo or Leone.
Yes. Yeah, so Leo is 4 this year, which means that she's becoming sexually mature. So it's the time that we should be able to determine what sex she is. And hopefully, once we determine the sex, we can look at breeding next season.
If you want to know if your echidna is Arthur or Martha, you have to wait until they're at least 4 years of age. By that stage, they've reached sexual maturity. They actually have those organs and they're a proper size. Until that point, there's no point even trying. Do you realise what you're asking of me? Sexing echidnas is notoriously difficult.
Yes, it is.
Because they only have one hole, and what's inside that hole, they like to keep a mystery.
Yes, they do.
Yeah, okay. Kylie has set me a real challenge. This is not going to be easy.
Sasha, come on, sit down, it's okay.
Sash has been rushed into the Bondi Referral Hospital Sash after mysteriously developing a badly swollen stomach.
I was just working in the garden and I saw her drinking some water and I saw at the time he bloated out and she started burping and I thought that's not a good sign, so we made our way here.
Owners Susan and Alan are extremely worried about their special girl.
We rescued her from death row. She had less than 24 hours to live and we were going to find her a home and we kind of fell for her and decided we had to keep her. She's gooby eyes all over this.
Hello, I'm Lisa.
Hi,
This
Lisa.
must be Sasha.
Yes.
Hi, nice to meet you. Hello, Sasha. All right, what's going on with her?
Basically, about an hour ago, I noticed that her tummy was quite bloated.
Okay.
We've got another Roddy at home, so we felt her tummy and it was soft and normal and hers was rock hard and swollen.
Hey, Sasha, let's take a look at you, honey. Okay. There are so many conditions that can cause a dog's abdomen to become enlarged, and unfortunately, a lot of them don't have very good outcomes. I just hope that Sasha's got something we can treat. All right, can you stand her up for me?
Okay, Sasha, stand up. There's a good girl. Stand.
Good girl, darling. Standing up.
Come on,
huh?
stand up.
Good girl.
Relax.
Yeah.
It's all right, Sash. Come on. Come on.
You're quite sore in there, honey. I'm feeling her abdomen and it definitely feels enlarged. She definitely is showing signs of a dog that has got a condition called bloat.
Bloat happens when a dog's stomach fills with air, fluid or food. The dog's swollen stomach can twist, cutting off vital blood supply to organs.
All right, so the next step is to get an x-ray of her. She is feeling quite bloated. Are you okay if I just take her out now and take an x-ray and then I'll be able to give you some more information? Okay. Come on, Sash. Let's go. If Sasha has got bloat or worst case, a twisted stomach, that could be life-threatening. We've got to move really fast, get these x-rays done and try and work out what's going on.
Surprise, she's popped an egg.
Hey, look at that. How long's that been there?
I know, I wasn't there yesterday.
Well, well.
At the Australian Reptile Park, General Manager Tim Faulkner is checking out a commotion in the cassowary enclosure.
Cassowaries are really cryptic birds and not much is known about them in the wild or in captivity. So when an egg turns up in a yard, it's a bit of a surprise to say the least.
Tim knows the egg will be infertile.
Cassowaries are the same as chickens. Unless they've mated with the male, the egg is infertile. It has a yolk, white, but no little chick will ever grow.
But the egg is a promising sign.
We've had the female for 5 years. First egg she's ever laid.
This proud girl is ready to mate.
And how's she?
Mate, she's prancing around. She's making herself nice and big.
First things first, let's go in and let's find out what she's going to do. I think she's going to be cranky.
I think she's going to be cranky too.
Settle down. Hey, settle down. Not only are cassowaries arguably the world's most dangerous bird, but they recognise the uniform and they hate us. Every time you enter a cassowary yard, it's potentially dangerous. Their feet and those claws can rip you apart. Oh, settle down, big girl.
So no little hints. I mean, he's not watching a lot of car racing or, you know, interested in...
She's keeping a secret for now.
Okay.
Yeah, very well hidden.
At the Bondi Clinic, Kylie is hoping Chris can determine the gender of little echidna Leo.
Echidnas are monotremes. Basically, everything that's sexual about them is kept inside, all their organs. So simply by looking from the outside, it's almost impossible to tell. Could we actually get Rex out?
That we can.
Wow, she's a lot bigger.
She's a heavy little thing.
So we know that Rex there is a girl.
Yes, Rex is a female.
This is actually perfect. I mean, now I can see if there are any similarities or any differences. Hopefully then we'll have our answer. Males tend to have the spurs, females tend not to, but you can have females that do have spurs as well.
So typically males do have spurs on the inside of their hind legs, but there is a percentage of females that have been found to have spurs, and there's also a percentage of males that have been found not to have spurs.
There's actually a tiny little spine there.
Yep.
But as we know, there's no guarantee.
Rex doesn't have any.
On size, what about the size comparison of the two of them? Females are meant to be bigger.
Typically, yes.
But Rex is a bit older.
Yes,
Leo.
yeah.
So we're getting a few little clues, but not really leading us one way or the other.
No.
We're a little bit stuck.
Yes.
The only one in this room that knows the truth is Leo. And Leo's not saying anything. There is a little technique I have in my arsenal that's, well, a little bit special and can sometimes give you a bit of a clue as to whether Leo is male or female, but I don't bring it out just willy-nilly. You'll see why. You know, if you tickle their belly, sometimes they can let you know exactly what they think of the
belly rub.
tickle.
Yep.
I want to point out that my hand is quite high in his stomach region and no other spot. He's grabbing my hand too. Is that the spot? Is it? Huh?
Although Chris is doing a really good job at tickling Leo, I think that maybe Chris isn't Leo's type.
Clearly Leo has some stage fright or is just unable to make an appearance, if you know what I mean. We're still no closer to knowing whether Leo is male or female, so it's going to take an anaesthetic to find out.
Look at her, look.
Yeah.
She's presenting to him.
At the Australian Reptile Park, the female cassowary is suddenly putting on a rare display.
Look at that.
Look at that.
Look at that.
Now he's
Trying to be mated.
Look at this.
Look, these two cassowaries, male and female, live next to each other, separated by a fence. She's laid an egg, which means she's reproductively active. It's her first egg ever. We need to have a look at that egg, check the yard out, and then let them do their thing. Put them in together, stand back and observe. We have to get in. Of all the animals in the park, she's one of the most dangerous. Even though she's standing still, they go from 0 to 100 in a second.
Despite the danger, Tim and his team need to get a close look at the egg.
Watch your back on that fence, boys. Watch your back on that fence.
But the male is now also hovering dangerously close.
Hey, look at this. Look to the left. Look, 4 eggs. Look at that. So this one's rolled out. We enter the enclosure, walk down to where the egg's laying. Straight away you can see there's another 4 eggs to the left in a nest. Yeah, don't let her around that backside, boys. I don't want to be cut off, please. Maybe she's laid it there and hasn't rolled it in, or maybe she laid it here and it's rolled out.
The surprise haul confirms the female is definitely ready for mating.
Look at that. She's just done something amazing. She's gone and sat down near the male and she wants him to mate with her. She's soliciting the male to come and mate. We'll get on out and let the male in.
Pop you up on the table. You're such a good girl.
At Sash, 8-year-old Rottweiler Sasha is about to have an X-ray to determine whether she's suffering from a life-threatening condition called bloat.
You're a lovely girl. You're okay. We just need to get a picture of your tummy. Good girl, honey. When a dog has a bloated stomach, we've got to move pretty quickly because we never know if the stomach is twisted or not. And if that stomach is twisted, Sasha's life is in jeopardy.
Owners Susan and Alan are agonising over what could be wrong with their precious girl.
I think she's actually in a lot of discomfort. She wasn't happy in the car. She wouldn't sit down. She wouldn't lie on her tummy. She's definitely not right.
Oh, her stomach is huge. Now, from these x-rays, it doesn't look like it's twisted, but it's definitely dilated. A normal stomach should be about this big, and Sasha's stomach is probably 3 or 4 times the size that it should be.
Lisa is now certain that Sasha is suffering from the potentially deadly bloat.
My worry is that if we leave it as is, her stomach could twist, which can basically cut off the blood supply to vital organs, cause the dog to go into shock, and they can die within a few hours.
Life-saving treatment needs to begin immediately.
You're a good girl, Sasha. We're going to get this pressure down, I hope. I'm going to pass this big tube down Sasha's stomach to try and relieve that pressure that's in her abdomen. Now, if I can't decompress her stomach, then she's going to have to be wheeled straight into surgery. All right, let's see if we can pass the stomach tube. It's going in.
As the tube enters Sasha's stomach, there should be a rush of air and fluid.
Oh, it should be in. I'm not really relieving any blockage.
But after more than 15 minutes, Lisa is unable to alleviate Sasha's bloating.
We're really racing the clock here because the longer that Sasha's stomach is bloated, the higher the risk that it could twist and she'll end up in surgery. We've got to move fast.
Oh my God. Oh my God. What is with the colour?
Yeah, he's an albino, or she's an albino.
He or she?
Yeah, exactly. That's why Leo's here. It's a big day in its life.
Hello.
At the Bondi Clinic, Leo is about to be anaesthetised, so Chris can try to figure out if the little echidna is a male or a female.
So, I know that we usually use something like this, but
Maybe problematic.
Yeah, this isn't a good fit, so we're actually going to need to make a mask for an echidna. Give me a syringe, some tape and some tubing, and I reckon I can make you an echidna anaesthetic mask. There we go, that's more like it. All right, shall we start?
Let's do it.
Leo's keeper Kylie is keen to find out what Chris will discover.
So I am quite confident that we'll be able to determine the sex accurately with Leo today, being that we are in breeding season. So typically the best time to sex an echidna is in breeding season when their organs are ready to go. So fingers crossed.
Leo's going to go to sleep in a world of pink, possibly wake up in a world of blue, or pink. So we do need to get Leo quite deep with this. We'll get Leo to his back here. So you happy there?
Yeah, it's good at the moment.
All right, so what we're looking for is a little bulge in front of his or her cloaca here. So if we look here, we can see that the leg bone, so femur, coming up here. Now what we should be seeing if Leo's a male is a little bulge here, and I'm really not. So at the moment we're leaning more towards female. What's that? I actually feel something that is tucked away. You see that? You're seeing the unmistakable echidna penis.
It's the weirdest looking thing I've ever seen.
There is no doubt that Leo is a boy. I think we should tell Kylie. I think you should see this.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's definitely a boy.
Yeah. Not just an albino, but an albino male.
Wow, that's very exciting.
Looking at Kylie, it's clear she's absolutely stoked. Now that we know Leo is a boy, she's going to be able to find him the perfect partner, and together they'll be able to breed. So we'll wake him up and we'll deliver the news to Leo himself. Himself, as opposed to herself.
Okay. He looks so sweet.
Well, now we know, huh? Yep. A little high five. Thank you. All right. Yep. Brothers. Good work, Leo. You want to go home now? Okay. Leo is clearly a man, very clearly, and we're bonded in a very close way. But now it's time for Leo to go home. Is there like a welcome home Leo party planned?
Not yet, but I'm sure we can organise one.
A whole lot of masculine activities. So there you go.
Thank you for that. You did very well. I might have another challenge for you, something else a little bit different.
What is it?
We've got a female Sumatran tiger.
Of course you do.
Which needs a procedure, if you're up for it.
Tiger.
Yes.
Just when I thought my day couldn't get any weirder, Kylie's now invited me to Symbio to help out another patient. Let's see what she's got in store. I'm not going to say no to a tiger.
Yeah?
Yeah, let's do it. All right, I'll give you a hand.
You're a good girl, Sasha. We're gonna get this pressure down, I hope.
Sasha is in serious trouble. She has a dangerous stomach condition called bloat. If Lisa can't remove the build-up of gas in the Rottweiler's abdomen, the 8-year-old will have to go under the knife.
We're in her stomach now, but I'm not really getting anything back. I'm not decompressing her in any way, so we're gonna just try and put her on her back and see if a different position will help.
But moving the Rottweiler is incredibly risky.
Us moving her like this could actually cause her stomach to twist, but I don't really have another option. I've got the tube in her stomach and I need to try and get that gas out. Come on, Sasha. Hey, Sash, all I've got to do is get this gas out from you. Oh yeah, I got something. Good girl. At least I've got a bit of food in there now. Finally, I think that we've had some progress. We moved Sasha into a slightly different position and I heard a sound of gas, but I need to take an X-ray to know for sure. Ah, that is a huge relief. Her stomach is about 1/3 of the size that it was. But she's a big dog, and I'm worried that she'll bloat again. And if that happens, her stomach could twist, and that can be life-threatening. Now, the only way to prevent it from twisting is for her to have surgery.
How'd they go on the trip?
Good.
Chris and Kylie have now arrived at Symbio Wildlife Park just south of Sydney with echidnas Leo and Rex.
Okay, guys. Home time. Get them out?
Leo, a little albino echidna, has just been sexed as a male and hopefully will go on to breed.
Is it just me, or does Leo have an extra spring in his step now that he's a new man?
I think so.
With Leo and Rex now happily back in their enclosure, Chris has a much bigger patient to see.
I've been asked to come here today to help them with a procedure that could be simple or could be very tricky. We're hoping to put a contraceptive implant into one of their Sumatran tigers, Sinta. So who's this one here?
This is our boy Jalua.
So this is our patient's brother.
Patient's brother, yes.
And let me guess, the fact that they're brother and sister is the reason they need the contraception.
Yes, they're both 6 years of age, so they are sexually mature. So because they are siblings, we need to make sure that Sinta remains up to date with her contraceptive implant.
The important thing about Sinta is she is a breeding female, but she's in an enclosure with her brother. So we need to make sure those genes don't combine together, otherwise there's a serious risk of birth defects. So she is currently tucked away?
Yes, so she's away in her den facility at the moment because that's where we'll be doing the procedure.
With Sinta already locked away in her den, in many respects the clock is already ticking. Because the longer she's kept in that den, the more stress she builds up, and that stress is going to be the enemy. It'll send her body temperature sky high. We have to get moving right now.
This is Dr. Michael Cannon.
How are you, Mike?
Chris, how are you?
It's good to see you again.
Good to see you again as well.
Mike used to be one of my lecturers at uni. I wasn't exactly the best student. I'm just hoping he doesn't remember that.
The pressure is on Chris and Mike.
Sinta is such an important part of my life. When we first worked with her, she was such a sensitive little girl, and she's someone that we really had to work hard to create a bond, so it's just made the bond that we have just so much more worthwhile, just all the effort that we've put in just getting that relationship built up. I'm going to leave it to you guys to head in there. So once she's darted, if you could just let us know, and then once you're ready for us to come on through, just radio and let us know as well.
Right, let's do it. Kylie's gone to the other end of the enclosure with good reason. For Kylie, her relationship with Sinta is critical. Everything they do on a day-to-day basis hinges on there being trust. If Sinta in any way associates Kylie with this dart, then that bond is broken and could be broken for life.
You all right, Sash? Time to go? Get you sorted?
8-year-old bloat patient Sasha is about to undergo a procedure called a gastropexy. Her owners have given specialist surgeon Andrew Marchevsky the go-ahead to perform the operation.
Dogs like Sash, when they've had a bloat, almost certainly they will bloat again, and if they bloat again, they'll almost certainly twist, and if they twist, they die. So if we can do this surgery, we can save it from that fate.
Righto, let's go.
Andrew will perform Sasha's surgery laparoscopically. Through small incisions, he plans to stitch Sasha's stomach to the wall of her abdomen. This will prevent it from twisting.
The major risk with keyhole surgery is that you're actually entering her tummy or her abdomen blindly. So if we're not incredibly careful, we can actually puncture major organs like a spleen or a liver, and then we get lots of blood. So you do have to be really careful.
So we're just going to put a scope in, and that's the keyhole part of this. So we'll actually be able to see inside the abdomen and see all the organs in there, and then we'll be able to grab the stomach.
So I've got the scope in now, and I can actually see all of her abdomen, and I can actually see her stomach.
Now we've just got to find the right part, which can be easier said than done.
Only a handful of laparoscopes have been performed at Sash, so everyone is keen to follow Sash's progress.
She's one of the first dogs here to have this kind of procedure done through a tiny little incision, which means that her recovery is going to be really fast.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. We've just identified the part of the stomach that we need to suture or stitch. So I've just grasped that now and I'm going to bring it up to the abdominal wall and suture it in place. That looks really nice. I'm very happy with that. All right, that's good. So you can see there, just on the bottom is the stomach and the top is the abdominal wall, and you can see that they're now attached. So that even if she does bloat again, she can never twist. And as I've said before, it's the twist that's really life-threatening. So we'll make her life much safer.
Finally, Sash's life-saving surgery is finished.
I'm really happy with how it's all gone. You know, we didn't do any damage to the spleen. Surgery's gone really smoothly. And I think, best of all, Sash is going to wake up really comfortably, and that's really what it's all about.
It's easy, girl. It's all right, Cinta.
At the Symbio Wildlife Park south of Sydney, Chris is about to sedate Sumatran tiger Cinta.
The reason why we're darting Cinta is because she is a dangerous animal, so it is something that we do need a veterinarian to come in so everything's safe and the procedure can be carried out safely for both Cinta and us.
Cinta needs a contraceptive implant, but the wily 6-year-old knows something's up.
It's easy, girl. It's all right, Cinta. The biggest concern when you're using a dart is the fact that you could actually lodge that dart in the wrong place. If I was to hit her abdomen with the dart, I could rupture an organ and ultimately kill her.
There is periods of silence, which we're hoping that they're able to dart her if she's giving them an option, but I'm feeling very anxious, very nervous at the moment.
There we go.
If you think you can take the shot, have a go.
Now we're confident that the dart is in. The important thing right now is assessing just how deep under anaesthetic Cinta is. If she has had some anaesthetic but not quite enough, there is a chance she could be asleep, but the moment we touch her, she could wake up. If she does that, everyone's in danger.
Okay, he's coming, guys.
At the Australian Reptile Park, it's time for the eager young male cassowary to be introduced to his feisty female neighbour.
Keep it there, Mike. Just push him back a bit, mate. Push him back a little bit. Just watch out. His aggression could go through the roof right now.
Tim and his team are on high alert.
Get ready here, because when they start running, they're going to run really fast and not pay attention to us. So just get ready for that. Okay, that's far enough for us, boys. So let's just hold a line here. Breeding cassowaries in captivity and knowing how to breed cassowaries in captivity is now critical. There are less than 1,000 cassowaries in the wild, and that number is steadily decreasing. If the cassowaries were reliant upon the captive population for their survival, at this point in time, we don't know enough. We're not very good at it, but we're learning. And exercises like this and successful matings mean we know how to do it, and if we need to secure the species in captivity, we can.
Tim is anxious to see this pair succeed, but so far it hasn't exactly been love at first sight.
Mate, just watch her. She's up on her toes. I can see how revved up she is.
Last time this exact pair were introduced, the male got the female into a corner. He's almost half her size, and he just kicked 1, 2, 3, 4. Hey, settle down, you. We had to get in, break it up, separate the cassowaries, and that's terrifying, and then push the male back into a separate yard. Okay, now he's here. Let's back up a bit. Let's give him a bit of space, boys. Yep, quick mark.
This time, Tim and the team are poised and ready to intervene at the slightest sign of aggression.
This could still turn into a fight. The signs here are really encouraging, but last time, And times before, I thought things were going well, and it very quickly turned nasty. The mating's interesting, but if we see a fight, we're in there and we're separating.
The challenge here is that she's actually facing away from us, so we can't see a lot of her face. But if I just use this high-tech pole, quite ticklish around the ears there.
At the Symbio Wildlife Park, Chris and the veterinary team have just sedated Cinta.
You see there's not much response there. It's a good sign that she is quite deep.
Chris has to give the Sumatran tiger a contraceptive implant, but before the team can enter her enclosure, they need to make absolutely sure she's fully asleep.
So we're getting some really positive signs right now that she is deep enough. We're getting a slowing down of the breathing, and also there's no response when I tickle her around her ears or her nose, so we're pretty confident she is deep enough for us to approach.
The medical team can now enter Cinta's compound.
We've got anywhere from between 5 minutes to half an hour. So fairly fixed pupils there. Okay. When the time's up though, the time's up. Yeah, we just need to get this front leg here. Oh, just hang on. Okay. She's got a bit of weight behind her, doesn't she? 90 kilos.
Any animal that goes under anaesthetic, of course, there's always risks. When you're doing it with a big cat, there's risk both for the animal and also for the staff involved as well. So extremely anxious, anything could go wrong at any time.
The main point of today is to give her a contraceptive implant here. So this is just almost like a little bead that goes underneath the skin that slowly releases a hormone over the course of 12 months, which will ultimately suppress her from breeding. And we're gonna go under the skin here. Okay, that's in.
The implant procedure takes just seconds. Chris and Mike now need to carry out a full physical.
Mike and I know that time is incredibly short here, so we're going to split our resources. Working from the back, it's clear that she's in good condition. She's got a nice mix of muscle and a body fat. How are those teeth there, Mike?
They're excellent. They're getting enough bones that are wearing it. There's no tartar forming there. There's no gingival recession. It looks beautiful.
Very impressive.
Yes,
but very clean as well.
Absolutely.
Next is time to check Cinta's heart. Mike passes me the stethoscope, and very quickly I can hear her heart, big and booming. It sounds good. But all of a sudden...
She's starting to wake up.
Okay, her heart rate has just quickened just a little bit.
Yes.
She's got a little blink there.
Yes, she's responding.
The team is now at serious risk.
So she's starting to swallow. Okay. All right, if we can start moving stuff out.
Cinta is essentially in the twilight zone. She's not fully under anaesthetic, but she's not fully awake. At this stage, they're probably more dangerous than at any other time. We have to get moving right now. Okay, everyone out.
Yeah, she's taking him for a walk now.
He's picked up the pace now and he's right on her tail. Good signs. Here he comes.
At the Australian Reptile Park, Tim and his team are anxiously watching a pair of cassowaries, hoping they can mate safely without a fight.
Last time, at about the 15-minute mark, we had a kickboxing match on and we had to separate. That's a boy. All's calm.
Despite their history of aggression, their courtship seems to be going smoothly.
Not a lot's known about cassowaries, and in particular, their mating ritual, but what we do know is that the female solicits the male. She'll begin to walk, fluff her behind up, and indicate that she wants to be mated with. She's twice his size. It's no wonder he's a little intimidated.
As the birds circle each other warily, the keepers can't let their guard down.
Cassowaries don't get the reputation of being the world's most dangerous bird for no reason. This could still go pear-shaped, so essentially, we never relax in this situation.
We've left them in there, and it's going well. They're both calm, and they're courting. So the female is leading the male around, and he's now hot on her heels. He's zigzagging behind her.
Suddenly, The female makes her move.
She's gonna do it.
The female cassowary has stopped her prancing and is sitting. It's an open invitation for the male to begin mating.
That's exactly what we're after. They're mating right now. That's the male on top. And the female's just gone and sat down. First time I've ever seen it this close. And a far cry from last time's fight. And it's amazing how such an aggressive bird can be so gentle. And now he's preening her. I'm so happy with how today went. There was Mike, Nick, Obi and I, and for all of us as keepers, we love our animals. And to see that is something we've never seen before, may not see again.
Okay, everyone out.
At Symbio Wildlife Park, Cinta the Sumatran tiger has begun to regain consciousness during a medical procedure.
Are we happy? Yeah? Very quick on that little eye response there, the blink and then the swallow, Mike. So the procedure's gone well, but from now on it's not so much about our safety, it's all about hers. We need to ensure that she comes out of the anaesthetic fully and in a very calm and controlled way.
With Cinta slowly becoming more alert, it's important for keeper Kylie to leave the enclosure.
My role is to step away from the situation. As she starts to wake up, I don't want her to see me and associating me with the vets and everything that has just happened, so I remove myself from everything that's happening.
Easy, girl. Easy, Cinta. There we go. As a vet, you use a few landmarks to say, you know what, they are going to be okay after this anaesthetic. One important one is lifting the head, and Cinta's just done that. Okay, she's looking relaxed.
She's looking well.
Better go and talk to the one that's probably not so relaxed.
Yes,
Kylie.
I think Kylie will really want to know what's going on. I'm extremely happy. I don't think it could have gone any better. Chris did a great job, a fantastic job.
Here we go, slides up. Okay, we're out.
A few hours later, and Cinta is back in her enclosure with brother Jalua.
Here she goes.
Little girl, she's doing well.
So that must be nice for you to see. Not only did she handle the procedure really well, but she's now eating.
Yes.
Can you relax now?
Yes, yeah, it's a huge relief. Very good to see her as normal, yeah.
And one day, maybe, she might be part of that breeding program?
Absolutely, yeah, she will be, just when a suitable partner comes about. That'll be really good to see her. She'll be a good mum. Overall, the procedure went really well today. Chris was fantastic. She got a clear bill of health. She had her implant, her vaccinations. She's happy, everything's safe. It went really well.
Oh, well, it's been a pleasure, so thank you.
No, thank you.
Hey, Sasha. You look much better. Hey, surgery went well and you've only got some tiny little holes.
At Sash, it's been just 24 hours since the life-saving surgery to stop Sash's stomach from twisting.
Good girl. You look great. Because Sasha had keyhole surgery done, her recovery's been really fast and she's ready to go home. She's comfortable, her stomach is no longer bloated and her owners are going to be over the moon.
Devoted owner Alan is anxiously waiting to see his girl.
So we've obviously been really missing Sasha at home, my wife and I, but also we have two other dogs that are missing her too. Hey, Sasha. Sasha. Hello, darling. Hi. How are you doing?
As soon as Alan sees Sasha, you can tell just how much he loves her. He'll do anything for her, and finally, he's getting his little girl back home. Now you can have a bit of peace of mind that if her stomach does bloat and you're not there, at least it's not going to be able to twist. So you've essentially saved her life by doing this surgery. She's a lucky girl.
We're looking forward to having her at home and settling down. The other dogs have been looking around for her, wondering where she is when her name's mentioned. So it'd be good to get her home.
Gonna go home? Hey?
Here we go.
Good girl.
All right then. Thank you very much.
No problem at all. You've done a wonderful thing. 48 hours ago, Sasha came in here with a really serious condition, and she has been so brave. I'm so glad that it's a happy ending for such a special girl.
Good girl, Sash. Come on then, let's go home. Let's go home. Good girl.
Hi, I'm Dr. Danny Dusek from Bondi Vet. If you love our show and want to see more, plus some amazing content about pets and how to care for them, hit the subscribe button. Click that little notification bell and we'll see you on our next video.